I'm back, and I've brought a surprise.
Very cool. Very cool.
That was sick.
I thought you'd like that. That's what I've been doing for 3 months.
It's like 3 months ago.
I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was trying to set up like the StreamYard giveaway tool thing, and then and I was like, shit, if I press the button, shit, we've gone live.
Yeah.
Mate, that was wicked. That was
very cool. Very
that
cool.
was quality. Yeah. So as you can see, everyone in the chat, the bearded macho man is back in the room. Tom, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me back. It's good to be back.
So Andy just started waving then, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
Mate, what you been up to? Where you been?
Well, where have I really been? Well, just
Yeah,
doing the PT stuff as I've left. Done some PT bits and bobs, but yeah, I got a bit of FOMO, so I thought I'd come back. I'm here.
You're back
Good
in
stuff.
the room, back in the
Good
room.
stuff.
Pete, Andy, how you been, guys? All right?
Grand. Over the moon to see Tom back. He's
Thanks,
upped
mate.
the sexiness level by about 300% already, hasn't he?
100%. 100%. We need to up our game. We need to up our game. It's good to have 4 on the screen. I'm a bit shocked.
Love a foursome. Love a foursome.
That intro kind of shook me, Tom. Well done, man. That's wicked. I totally forgot you still had control as well, so that totally threw me.
I was saying to Charlotte earlier, I was like, I've got this idea, and I think if I say to the lads before we start, I want to do something, then at least they're prepared that something's going to happen. They won't know what it is, but I didn't know whether or not you knew that I still had the login details.
Absolutely no clue at all.
So I actually loaded this intro in and the other 2 little intros I brought as well into the StreamYard about 2 weeks ago, and I was waiting for you to use it, and I thought he hasn't noticed it, so great.
I can't even see it. Oh shit!
Yeah, it's down. If you go past intro, there's intro
I can see it.
2024 final.
I haven't even noticed that. I haven't even fucking noticed it. So yeah, well done,
Amazing.
well done. And with that said, the chat is buzzing. Good evening, Chris. How are you doing, sir? Good evening, good evening. He has said, good evening, kiddos. I'm casually registering Lego sets, 40 down, about 40 to go. Andy, what does that mean? Or Tom, what does that mean?
That means that he's registering all his Lego sets via the Lego website in order to get extra points and also to build an inventory online.
I did not know you could do that. Now I'm going to probably have to do the same.
So is that the same? Is that just scanning the boxes like you would do for like comic book scan and register?
There's a little QR code on the instruction booklets, and if you scan those, that'll register on the website, and you'll also get extra points based on the set that it's related to.
Wow. Wow.
That's interesting. And then he's also said the obvious follow-up question: what happened to your life, Chris? I don't know where it all went wrong, but here we are. There we go. There we go. And we've got Tom saying wang bangers. We've got Wayne Deacon. Sounds like fun, Chris. Deadman, let's go. Good evening, comic aficionados. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but hey ho. Good evening, kids. Welcome back, Tom. Yes, welcome back, sir. Yuko demands treats. Evening, kiddos. Hold on there. There's one more than normal. Yes, there is. And what's up, geezers?
I'm back.
So basically, as you would have seen, Tom just hashtag Wang Bangers. So what we're going to do, we are going to just literally, that's going to be the hashtag of today. It's going to be hashtag Wang Bangers, and then at the end of the show, we'll just we'll tally it up. We'll do the random wheel of doom, and then whoever wins will get some comic books sent to them. So yeah, hashtag Wang Bangers. There we go. That's on the screen now. Hashtag Wang Bangers. There we go. And I have to say, this is in Wayne Deacon's every single day vocabulary. I've heard him use it many a time, and I haven't been back to that milkshake yard since I see his video.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know what it is yet, head over to Wayne Deacon and have a look at his real interesting video. That's all I'm going to say. Didn't know you could do that, Chris, but I've just bought 50,000 Lego points on the dark web. There we go. There we go. So there's something for everyone. Bill's Treehouse, good evening, sir. Happy Thursday, all the way from across the pond. And there we go. We've got our first Wang Banger all the time, sweetheart. And then didn't know you could do it. Oh, look, he's put it on again. Yeah, we know. Oh, so you've just bought another 50,000. Well done, Leon. So he's bought 100,000 so far. So without further ado, we might as well. There's 4 of us now. Nothing changes. It's the business end. We get serious for at least 15 minutes, and it's all about this. Right. So this is where shit gets real. Tom, you might have been gone for 6 months, but you're back. Same thing still stands. Andy's running away with it. Peter's
Clearly,
second.
always.
And I'm coming up last from behind. Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. But this is it. You're back in the room. All 4 of us. Killer Covers, May 15th, which was New Comic Book Day yesterday. To take it away first, we have, of course,
me. So I've gone with Darkwind Ducks, Justice Ducks issue 3. I've just gone for it because I thought it was quite a fun cover. It just reminds me of like kind of that kind of fun Disney-esque style thing. And it's by Jay Lee. It's not by Moko Dalfo, who I think we tagged by accident.
Yes.
That would be League of Gentlemen's fault. League of Comics Geeks' fault.
Yes.
You have been away for a while, haven't you, Tom?
I have, mate. Completely forgot what I'm doing. But yeah, I kind of picked this one because I just thought it was fun. It's kind of what I like about comic books. I like to see things on the shelf that are fun, and it drew my eye in when I was looking for covers, so that's why I picked it. And also, who doesn't like Cyboduck, whose name I've forgotten off the top of my head?
Is it
Gizmo?
Is it not just Robo-Duck or something like that?
No, I think it's Gizmo. I believe.
I've never read a Darkwind Duck. I used to watch like the TV series and stuff like that, but I've never read it. But I think it's because it's dynamite. But I do like this cover, and I like it even more now that it's Jay Lee and not Mirko Andolfo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like this. I think it's the yellow, to be fair, that was the eye-catching part. I think because if that has any other colour of it, it doesn't really stand out. But I think you've brought the fire with this one. Nice.
Thought I'd start strong.
You know, whenever we had the concern with the artist of this book, it reminded me of that time where Mrs. Adam Hughes got really upset.
Oh yes,
that we mislabeled
I remember
her
that.
husband's comic.
Yeah.
So for that reason, this is an absolute belter. You're back with a bang, Tom. Anything that has 2 ducks in it, you know, is an absolute winner. Whether it's Jay Lee, whether it's Mirko Andolfo, winner. Winner, duck dinner. There we go.
And this is why, for me, Tom, it's so nice to have you back, because I'm so sick of the usual shite from these guys. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it's a Harley Quinn cover. Oh, it's a boob cover. Oh, it's the same cack every week. Whereas now we've got a bit of variety, a bit of difference, something that jumps off the shelf. Do you know what I mean? Instead of the usual tripe. So yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I love the yellow. I love the characters. I'm like you, Charlie, mate. I don't think I've read a Darkwind. I think I read the first issue of this series, the first series. But yeah, love it.
It is Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck.
Quickly Googled it. But Peter, what you were just saying, I wouldn't get too excited because I have a tendency to always pick J. Scott Campbell covers and Transformer covers. So they're my exclusive things that I pick. Yeah. So I wouldn't get too excited about bringing a difference.
Yeah.
Andy, what have we done to receive that barrage of abuse within 3 seconds?
Do you know what I think it is? I think Tom's back, and Peter's feeling a wee bit, as if he has to be really masculine and angry, to sort of, make him feel a bit better. Because let's face it, the cover he picked is absolute shit, so he has to.
Wow! Wow! How dare you! Damn your eyes! How dare you, sir?
I'm going to act like the dad of the group, and I'm going to defuse this at all. And I'm going to say that we've had some comments. This is not too shabby. It pops like, and wonderful use of colour, perspective, and wang bangers. There we go.
Bangers.
Everyone's laughing, but yeah, I think you've set the place on fire with this Dynamite cover. Excuse the pun, Tom. Darkwing Ducks, Justice Ducks, issue number 3, the cover H, which is the 1 in 15, Merca and Adolfo J. Lee Virgin variant cover. There we go. Oh, bringing the doom and gloom, Mr. Perpetual.
We're going to drop it down to the darkness. Like it.
Listen, Doom issue number 1, the 1 in 100 Adi Granov Virgin variant. I think we actually mentioned this in the FOC, that's right, yeah.
Yes.
And it seems ages ago since we actually spoke about it. I think this book is absolutely fantastic. There's not many 1 in 100 books that I would consider actually paying up for, but this is one of them. I think this is an absolute beauty.
And
Yeah, what do you think?
I can't put it, yeah.
I fucking love it. It's really disappointing. I know. This was, to be honest, Andy, this was my pick, and then I thought, no, I'm going to go different. But I absolutely love this cover. I will definitely be getting this. I love Doom anyway, and I just think this is just such a striking pose. I think it looks amazing. So yeah, I love this one.
I love this cover, and I also read it today, and I've got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the second reincarnation of Doom in recent years, where they've done Doom 1 and then they did it again and it didn't really work out. But this, I was thinking, this cover's not going to live up to the story. I really enjoyed the story. So yeah, Andy, this is I really like this one, mate. Yeah, well done, Thomas.
Well, I like it because I love Annie Godov anyway. I've met him a couple of times at not Thought Bubble, at Nice Comic Con. He's actually really sound. I love this cover. Again, same as Peter. I was going to pick this to start with, and then I changed my mind because I couldn't get past the fact that his face or the hood area looks like it's been stuck on. It doesn't quite gel with the rest of the composition. It almost looks like it's stuck out and it's been stuck on afterwards. It doesn't quite flow, which kind of annoyed me a little bit, so that's why I didn't pick it.
Now you've said that, I can't not see the white outline around the black.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm not buying this anymore. I'm not buying it.
But I like that. I like that because it literally focuses your eyes onto his face, and I think the way that he's done the mask is amazing. So yeah, Andy, I'm with you on this. Don't listen to the two evil stepsisters.
No, do you know what? And I appreciate the support, Charlie. But now that Tom has so succinctly pointed that out to me, I can't help but think if you to take the face and the black bit of the hood off, it would look like a big massive green thumb.
It definitely would.
So you can stick your 1 in 100 where the sun don't shine.
The more I'm looking at it, the less I like it. This is weird. I loved this at first, but now I'm looking at the green hood and I'm thinking there's no lines or definition or it. Do you know what I mean? There's no texture to it. Well, yeah, it's dog shit, mate. It's dog shit.
You're welcome.
The feedback is, hell yes. Chris Bell, disappointing use of colour and Photoshop. Metal Gimp issue 1.
Wow.
Genuinely, it's dull and the chain looks superimposed badly. DVH, good evening. Good evening. I also think it looks a bit odd. Love Doom, but the background is funky. Yeah, with you on this, Charlie. Don't listen to Harry and Meghan.
Harry and Meghan.
Whoa! Which one's which? Who's
well,
Meghan?
I'm not ginger, so I'm.
Who's Meghan? So you're Meghan? Wow. Meghan does have a beard like that. So yeah.
He does. Wow. So yes, this is Doom number 1. This is the 1 in 100.
Also, sorry, Charlie. Now just the pose he's in now. Just before mentioning Meghan. now when I'm looking at that, I can't not see that new portrait of Charles. Do you know what I mean? With the horrendous red background, it should just stand nicely next to this, shouldn't it? It's nice.
Who was the guy in Ghostbusters on the big
Virgo or something? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is him. Yeah, it is basically him. Anyway, so we're off to a blinding start there. Blinding start. I've gone for Marvel Venom Separation Anxiety issue number 1. Tom, that's what you had, wasn't it? When you was away for 6 months, separation anxiety.
Yeah, mate, that's literally why I'm back. I had really bad separation anxiety.
And this is the Mike Mayhew Web Store Virgin variant cover. This for me, I've picked up a new tactic over the last 3 weeks. The last 2 weeks where I won, I thought, you know what, I'm going to see a cover. If I like it, I'm going for it. I don't know if it's me, but as anyone else, the League of Comic Books now, when you click on variants and reprints or anything, it doesn't show them all. You have to click individually on the little numbers. So I've kind of given up clicking on that now. So I see this one. I thought this was great.
The tip I've got for you, mate, turn off regular covers. If you turn off regular covers, it just shows all the variants. If you have regular and variants, it just shows regular for some reason. It's obviously got a bug in the system.
And that is why I need you back in my life. Thank you very much for that.
That's what I'm here for, mate.
This cover for me is fucking awesome. I really like it. I'm looking down at Triple G because I know he's gonna say something. So I like this cover. I love it. Take it away, Pete.
Yeah, no, I do like it. I think it looks really good. It's unfair of us to say, but I'm Venom covered out, if you know what I mean. So it's not interesting to us, but it's brilliantly done. I really do like the mouth work is stunning. The saliva dripping from his chin. Again, is amazing. So I do like it. I think it's a really cool image, but it's another Venom cover for me.
Mm-hmm. Andy,
I like it, but you know I've had this issue quite a lot. That the tongue isn't long enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Story of my life.
That is true. That is true. But do you think that's not because he hasn't turned fully yet?
Ollie, I didn't need to explain. I just want a bigger tongue, okay? God damn it. What is explanations and rationale?
So sorry. Thomas, what do you think?
I actually really like this and thought it was a really cool cover, but then I saw something on this again that I couldn't unsee.
Go on.
And that's the fact that the Venom, if you look at the top of Venom's face by his eye, it doesn't quite look like it's going over his... It looks like it's just been stuck over the top of his face rather than actually merging in with him. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Is that not because? Is that? Oh, I'm going to rationalize this one. Is that not just because he's forming?
Possibly, but
becoming Venom. It's like
possibly, but it doesn't look like it's merged in. It looks like it's just plonked on top.
Mm. Yeah.
But then, to counteract that, I love the kind of composition, and I disagree. I think the tongue's pretty good size anyway, and I quite like the fact that it looks like he's kind of exploding out.
We're now changing the hashtag to Tonguegate. Now it's Tonguegate.
Yeah.
But there we go. Look, there we go. Look, very interesting. I don't mind this one, but I don't think it's a banger either. With you on that one, Chris. It's pretty cool. Wouldn't buy it unless I see it in person and it blows me away. You're right, Tom. Change to mince. Okay, fair enough. There we go. It's good to see Tom back, isn't it? There it is. Indeed it is. So yeah,
sorry.
Venom Separation Anxiety issue number 1. And up last is... Go on, Pete.
Right. When I first started doing the show, I remember Tom saying that he picked his covers based on what would grab his attention on the shelf. So not the prettiest lady, not the biggest boobs, not another whatever. What would actually make you stop and look at the shelf and go...
Though.
Yeah, but boobs help, yeah, obviously. What would make you stop and look and go, oh, that's different, that's something new? And that's exactly what this is. This, for me, is so clever in terms of what it is. You know, it's got the character in there, you've got something epic title, obviously. It's obviously a nostalgia play, you know. I just think it's great. I think it's a really interesting book, and I've never seen anything like it, which is why I jumped at it. But obviously you guys think it's shit.
I'm massively into my retro gaming, and this is obviously taken from the original Game Boy. I think I like the subtle things in it with like the one-man art is obviously Simon Kudranski's like own publishing and artistic company. Image Comic. Yeah, I mean, I do like it. I don't know if it's a winner, but it is good. There's nostalgia there. It's definitely something. But yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about it, to be fair, other than that. Yeah, I don't. I can't. No. Other than that, because the computer's on, the light should be green, not red. But that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. That's the only
How
thing.
you said that?
Oh, right.
That's the only thing. But yeah, I do like it. I do like it. Andy?
Clever. Did you use the word? This is a clever cover.
Clever. I did. I said clever.
Wow.
Do you not think it's clever? I think it's genius.
I mean, I can Google Game Boy. I can Google Game Boy, and I can get an image of a Game Boy Advance or whatever this is called, and I can put a little something epic picture inside and change the tone of it. And I'm not clever.
Well, some would say you are.
Not many. Not many.
Not many. Of all the covers, it's not the worst that you've picked. Put it that way, Pierre. So keep that in your heart.
Keep that close to your heart. Keep that close to your heart.
Harsh. Harsh.
Tom, we wait with bated breath to see where you go with
I love
this.
this section. I love it.
Well, I agree with Peter. I think my whole premise, and I always said it, is if I see a comic on the shelf and it draws me in, I would go and have a look. This definitely would draw me in over some of the other books because it's something you don't see very often on the shelves. Kind of a retro Game Boy as a comic. However, I was just about to say that just for a laugh. It looks like the Sunbit Epic logo has been stuck on with like. But
The bill doesn't look quite right either. It looks
No,
very smooth on his face.
I think I don't know whether or not I would call it clever. I think it's a really good use of retro, and I think it's a really nice cover, and it would really definitely draw you in. I do like the fact that the magnifying glass that he's got is pointing at the words "read." I think that's quite a subtle thing to make you go and read the book, which is quite cool. And like you said, Charlie, I like the one-man art thing. But now that you've said about the dot not being green, that is kind of annoying me a little bit.
I mean, boobs are quite draw.
Yeah,
Do you
they
know what I
are.
mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we've all had our say, and what we'll do, we'll go over to we'll start the poll now, and that is live, and then at the end of the show, we shall check back in and see who has won. So we've got Something Epic issue number 9, we've got Separation Anxiety, we have Doom number 1, and we have Darkwing Duck, Justice Duck.
Can we all be friends again now?
Yeah, of course we can. Yeah, we got it out of the system. And then we got oh my eyes. May 15th. This is the part of the weren't even expecting that. You just
It's literally a khaki pants.
I have. I just went, oh my arse. There you go.
Oh, my arse.
My eyes. So May 15th. This is where we pick the shit of the shit and the covers. And Tom. Oh my jeez!
I just saw this on League of Comic Books, and I thought this is awful. Not only is it awful because it's, I just think that the proportions are really shit, to be fair, and that you can't quite see who's what. But to do a stained glass window and do it this badly really annoyed me. And also, what's with the orange penis in the corner? What's that all about? Why would you put a giant flaccid penis in the corner? With a big
I actually thought Charlie had put the 4 boxes up, and I was looking to see if I was in the corner. I was like,
yeah.
This is horrendous.
Just awful.
Like, this is shit. Like, I don't even, to me, it looks like Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. It just looks really horrendous. Like, I mean, we've had some shit covers on here. We had like Nikki and Nora. That cover was absolutely horrendous. But this is, I would not want to pick this comic up. I would not want to read it.
So is this says that it's a connecting variant. So there's more of this shit out there.
So apparently, I had a look at it.
It's not Marvel. It's IDW, by the way.
Yeah, it's apparently they kind of interlock like a giant stained glass window. Wow. Is what it's going to look like. But it's just terrible. I mean, I think if you were going to do a stained glass window, like, I think you could do something a little bit more better than this. Maybe even put some like little metal parts into it, make it look like a stained glass window. But I just think this is, I think it's terrible. And also, it's a 1 in 10, so you're going to pay like what, 10 quid for it?
I wouldn't pay 10 quid for that.
Utter crack, yeah.
The stained glassness of it Yeah, fair enough. But it's the actual images of the characters look friggin' awful. I just don't get what it's meant to be.
It looks a little bit like, you know, those things you can buy for kids, the colouring books,
Yeah.
colouring between the lines.
Yeah.
It looks like a kid's done it. That's what I thought. And
Yeah,
obviously
but-
the green,
but-
the yellow, orange
But
flash.
imagine all of them framed on a wall would be absolute dog shit. Life isn't always prettier through a stained glass window, and indeed it isn't. This looks like a primary school mural. It looks like absolute shit. So yeah, Tom, you're bringing the fire with that one. This is rank. It's just, it doesn't tell me anything to want to read the story. And after 20 issues of this, I would not want to read it. Not at all.
No.
So
There's a few things that put me off this cover. Number one, it's a 1 in 10. Number two, I mean, the
Don't you dare say Star
the
Trek.
artwork would suggest that we've all got a chance of being cover artists for
Mhm.
IDW. The
Yeah.
third, Star Trek in it.
Fuck you. You're pushing us tonight, mind Andy. You're pushing us.
Pushing us.
shocking, absolutely shocking. But yeah, this is absolutely horrendous. I'm not interested in this at all. And Tom, it's the only one. It's the only. Oh, my eyes.
Oh, really? Oh,
It is. Yes.
bringing the fire.
Yes, bring in the fire. Well, I wouldn't call it fire. You just fucking
No.
put your own fire out with that one, mate. But you know,
Yeah, man.
Hey-ho.
Yeah. I think
But
if I,
here we
saw
are.
if I was part of the fire service still and I saw that stained glass in, I'd be putting my foot through it.
Yes.
Sorry, Charlie, go on.
don't be silly. Week number 19. So this was last week, and the two comics that got chosen was The Devil That Wears My Face, the final issue number 6, and then Ain't No Grave from the fantastic Skottie Young. So up first, we have The Devil That Wears My Face. Only one cover for this one. This is issue number 6. This is the final issue. This is from Mad Cave Comics, written by Dave Pepose, who was on Triple G's Comics, 3 weeks ago now, mate? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
And then we've got the art by fan of ours, Alex Cormack. Fantastic. This came out May 8th, which was obviously last week. So, Peter, would you like to take it away? Because I know you are a massive fan of this. So,
Yeah, this is the obviously the final issue of what I think has been an absolutely stunning series. Now, I know that some of you guys, Tom in particular, aren't big horror fans, but this book for me had a really gripping story alongside the horror element to it. I still say that this would make an amazing little mini-series or movie. I think it's almost
100%.
designed for that. We all know the story now. We've talked about it enough, but basically it's a story of possession and a demon basically inhabiting a priest's body, and then them going to war basically in the Vatican. The artwork by Alex Cormack is Alex's, for me, artwork is always absolutely stunning and horrific and horrifying. He's just got a way of drawn mayhem and blood and monsters that jumps out at me, I think. So I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. There's a bit of a twist in the end of this, and it was an interesting twist. I did quite enjoy that element of it. I would love more in this universe. David kind of hinted that there might be more if people want it, so I really do hope there is. Overall, for me, this is a really good little series, and I'd recommend people pick it up in trade paperback format, because it's worth just looking at the art, to be perfectly honest. So yeah. I loved it. I thought it was a great story, great end.
100%. So I started reading this when you started reading it, Pete, and it kind of fell by the wayside for me. And I kind of think because it got chosen, I didn't start again, but I picked up from issue number 3. And I got a bit confused because I couldn't remember like the area had been taken over and stuff like that. So I kind of read it all again. The artwork for me is fantastic. I got obviously Alex Cormack did the art for Crimson Cage as well, which is awesome. And this panel on the left-hand side is something that really is incredible. Like Alex, just he's got a sick mind. He must have a seriously sick mind to be able to draw that. And I'd love to see the black and white sketches of this and stuff. He's been on your draw show 2 or 3 times, and what he does is amazing. For me, this story needs to become a film or a TV series on Netflix. I mean, there's about 2 or 3 films out recently with Russell Crowe in, like The Exorcist, and they're all taken over. This, for me, would blow all of them out the water. This as a story would be incredible. on the big screen. I think Dave Pepose has done awesome in it. It's such an engaging story. The twist in it, I didn't really see it coming. I thought it was great. The fight in like the depths of hell in issue number 5 and stuff was wicked. This for me is one of the best horror comics that I've read in recent years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just a shame that it's ending, but I do hope that there is more to come from it. And I think on your show, he kind of in a roundabout way said there would be, but didn't let on to the fact of if it was coming anytime soon or anything like that. But for people in the chat, if you haven't read this, I would thoroughly suggest doing it because it's wicked. Loved it. Anyone else?
That was amazing.
What else
So
can we
passionate.
say? I guess I'll go. I enjoyed this issue and disliked this issue in equal measures. It was a real strange one for me. Again, like you, Charlie, I really only started reading this because of Peter and the guys saying how good it was, and obviously Alex is doing the artwork, so that was a buy-in for me. I think I read the first 3 issues together, and I loved them. And then what I found is when I was reading issue by issue, I was getting a little bit confused because of the back and forth with Vieri. And I think I certainly say it lots of times that this would be an ideal book to read as a trade paperback all in one. I think it would be absolutely perfect. In fact, I'm going to go back and reread this because I think I'll enjoy and understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think in this issue in particular, I really like the way that they linked some of the Bible passages. For those of us who are not akin to the Bible, the whole point where he casts away the Legion into the rats is akin to like the Legion in the Bible getting cast from Matthew, but it gets cast to a swarm of, or whatever you call a group of pigs. In the comic, it's in the rats, which I found was a nice little sort of link. The downside and the sort of jarring element to this issue was when it was revealed that he was actually Jewish, and it kind of came from nowhere, and it kind of felt as if it was kind of a shoehorned into this last issue. There was kind of a no context to it, and I didn't see the point of it really. There was no like setup to make me understand why that was brought in. But other than that, I think the artwork was superb. The battle at the end was amazing, and that last panel was just superb because it kind of set us up for what potentially could be coming next. So for me, this was a really solid book, but I think it's one that if you haven't read the issues individually, you'll definitely benefit from reading it as a trade paperback.
Yeah, definitely. Tom?
Yeah, so I took a different approach. I didn't get a chance to read all the other issues, so I just read this one standalone issue. And it to be fair, it was easy enough to pick up what was going on, what was happening, who the characters were, and what the situation was going on with the demon possessing the priest and stuff. So it was good. I actually really enjoyed it, and I don't normally like horror comics, but I felt gripped, and I would totally agree with you. Even though I've only read one issue, this would definitely benefit from being some kind of TV series or a small kind of show or something, or like a short film, or even an animated film, like a one of those like gritty, like the old Spawn films they used to do. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I have now got the other issues, the first 5, so I'm going to read those this weekend because I am interested in reading the whole thing to give it a bit of a context. And like Andy said, I think that will really benefit reading it all in one go, because I think if I was to have to wait each week, it might annoy me a little bit. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good read. Thanks for picking it, guys, and thanks for everyone for voting for it.
I think one of the massive things in this is that the artwork is sublime in it, and I'd like to. There's quite a few stories out there that Dave Pepose has written, and I didn't know it was him. But I found this story very engaging. Scouts Honor was amazing. Love that.
Scouts Honor was incredible. I'm glad we read that one.
But I'd like to go back and read some of them if they was as gritty as this. But then again, I think it's the Alex Cormack effect, because I think I was only as engaged in it because the artwork was so intricate and so amazing. I mean, that panel on the right hand side is nothing short of amazing. And I think that kind of tipped the battle scene on its head, because it was just, that battle scene was wicked for me. It was so good. It was like exactly what good and evil was all about, and I think that's what drew you in. And then obviously the twist at the end is interesting. But yeah, I think Alex Cormack has a massive. Yeah, he's massively.
Finish that sentence.
It's a massive. Yeah, Alex Cormack has a massive part to play in this comic. I don't know if it would have been told the same as it was if it was a different artist.
I'd probably second that,
Absolutely,
actually.
yeah, absolutely agree. I went back recently. We've talked about it a few times, but I went back and read the last issue of The Nasty, which a few have looked at. Normally, John Lees teams up with Alex, but he didn't on this occasion, and the book's just missing something, and I don't know what it is. But I read the last issue and thought, actually, do you know what? It's not done it for me at all.
Yeah.
Is Alex the best horror artist out there?
I would say so.
I think
I've only read a couple of horror comics, so I can't comment. But yes, for me,
for this kind of artwork and story, absolutely. There are gorier. I think if I look at, say, Get Fury that we watched last week, read last week, there are some horrific scenes in that, you know, but that's not horror per se.
Yeah.
This, for me, gritty,
And I don't think you need. I think Alex could draw a comic without a writer and have no words in it, and it'd say more than what some books do with all the writing in it.
Yeah.
I find with Alex's work, it's what isn't drawn that your imagination fills in the gaps. Yeah, because the way he's drawn it, it's like this could be happening off scene, but your mind's like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah. I
Really
thought
clever.
I thought it was wicked, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up in trade paperback, as I'm sure you lot probably will be as well. But yeah, hopefully we didn't spoil too much from that if the people in the chat haven't read it, but oh well, shit happens. Hell might froze over. Hey, there we go. But then moving on to issue number 2, the second comic that we decided to read, it was Ain't No Grave, issue number 1, written by Skottie Young, and the art is by Jorge, who is obviously working with Daniel Warren Johnson, doing the art for Transformers now. We've got main cover by Jorge, we've got the Comic Corner Stephanie Hans variant cover. We've got the second printing already, which is out by Jorge, and then we have the Skottie Young Web Store Virgin variant. Andy, you was quick off the mark with this one to let everyone know that you'd read it, and it was very, very interesting and good to hear. So you might as well take it away, sir.
Yeah, no, definitely an interesting first issue. I think the expectations on this one kind of, for me, outweighed the first issue a little bit. I'll maybe start with the artwork. I thought the artwork was great. I think there was some elements of the artwork that I found a little bit confusing. I didn't quite understand what was happening in it, and there was lots of panels where there was no dialogue or context to it, and you had to kind of work it out what was happening on it yourself. So I found that a little bit jarring at times. I found some of the first issue a bit uneven. We got the premise of the story, we got the narrative. And I think Skottie Young did a really good job of sort of setting things up. We got the backstory, we got Ryder's purpose. She sort of seems torn between who she is now and what she's going to become, because she's found out that she's obviously ill, and she goes on what effectively is this massive journey, and that's what the story is going to be about. I won't ruin it to see who she's trying to go and find, but let's just say it makes an interesting sort of fairy tale aspect to what is effectively a cowboy and cowgirl story at the best. I found that this was like a double-sized issue, this as well. Yeah. But I found that there was kind of a lots of nothing. There was basically just a big, massive, extended horse ride through this comic, and it didn't really add much to it. It's got some stereotypes, that sort of rootin' tootin' sort of cowgirl aspect to it. But to pardon the pun, this issue had some good, bad, and some ugly in it, and I would give it a go. I think it's got loads of potential, and I've got faith that Skottie Young will be able to, deliver a story that just isn't extended panels without any dialogue.
Yeah, Pete, you haven't shied away from the fact that you're not a massive Skottie Young fan. But then you've also said that you like this style of writing and kind of this art when he works with like Jorge and Pecos. What was your take on this?
Very, very similar to Andy, but probably didn't like it as much as Andy, if I'm being really honest with you. I don't know if it's just Scottie Young's writing style's not for me, which is really strange because I absolutely love I Hate Fairyland. I think that is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I struggled with the Me I Love in the Dark, I think what you call it. It had good promise, but I don't know, I got a bit lost with that. And this is very unpopular because people seem to love it. I'm not a big fan of his, is it Middle West?
Middle West.
I got the hardback of that and it was all right, but it didn't blow us away. I absolutely agree with Andy. There were pages and pages of this where I just thought, what's the crack? What's happening? There's nothing happening for me. I wasn't a massive fan of some of the artwork, like the rendition of her. At times, her head kind of disappeared into her body, and I didn't know what was going on with that. I know that's just an artistic style, and it's just not to my taste, I guess. It was all right, but as a guy who's not necessarily a big fan of westerns as a per se kind of topic, I'm not sure it did enough for us to want to really rush to read on. I think the end premise is interesting, and that's what I would probably pick up the next issue for, purely to see where that goes. But I'd only probably give this issue 2, and I still feel the same way. I'll not be reading on, I don't think. It was okay, but it didn't blow us away.
Yeah.
Tom? Is it crazy that I'd prefer Scottie Young's artwork for the covers that he's done for this than I actually do George's? Sorry, Tom.
It's all right, mate. There's not really much I can add. I agree with both of you. I think it had all the killer hype behind it. It was going to be an amazing book, and I don't think it fell short, fell on its arse or anything, but it did fall a little bit short of the finish line for me. I thought it was a little bit, like you said, there's a few panels and pages where I thought this is dragging on a little bit, and I don't normally like the jarring between backstory and restory and backstory and restory and current story. This, for me, felt very jarring for those things. They didn't kind of gel as well as some of them do. And it was good though. I like the premise of it. And unlike Peter, I will probably read on until the end, I think, because I like Westerns and I kind of want to see where it goes. And I think George Groner's artwork is fantastic. However, I would liken this to Twig. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes.
Twig.
Yeah.
It was hyped up to the nines, and it was going to be amazing. The first issue was okay, and then it completely fell off the radar after issue 2. Now this could have the same problem, and I don't know whether that's just because Scottie Young is a better artist than he is a writer. If you get my drift. Because there's been a few things he's done that have not been great, like You Love Me in the Dark wasn't my cup of tea. Twig wasn't great. And then I think the most recent I Hate Fairyland, the most recent one, hasn't actually hit home like it should have either. But yeah, that's what I think anyway. Charlie, what do you think?
For me, this was very, very similar to Twig. It was like one person on a journey to go and find where they've got to get to. Is this Scottie Young's best work? I don't think so. Like, I'm a massive, massive fan of I Hate Fairyland. Like I've got all the issues. I've got the trade paperbacks as well. I love it. It's a book that I can go back to and read it. Gertrude's one of my favourite characters. Is this again? The hype for this was massive. The hype for this was really, really big. And again, I think the hype has outweighed the actual story itself. I think the art. I did enjoy the art, but then I'm loving Transformers and I'm loving where George Corona's taken over from Daniel Warren Johnson on that. So I'm kind of loving his artwork. He's done various artwork with like Sean Gordon Murphy on some of the Batman comics that he's done. So he's kind of well renowned to doing stuff like this. Did I enjoy the story? I'm not really sure. I don't know where it's going. I can't see if I'm going to be interested to read it. The end panels I've put on the right hand side. Sorry if it's a spoiler. Is looking interesting. I did get very, very Middle West vibes from this. So you can see that Scottie Young's kind of pulled from all the stories that he's written Middle West. I Hate Fairyland. He's pulled from Twig and various other stories that he's put together. Is it going to get better? I don't know. I'm going to continue reading on because, as I said, I like the artwork and I'd like to see where this story is going to go. But it is not by far the strongest story that Scottie Young's done, in my opinion.
I think you're right there, mate. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's not like the first I Hate Fairyland, which was literally just a rocket of success.
Yeah.
But give it time, because I mean, to be fair, I Hate Fairyland's first issue is a little bit jarring, also, but you kind of have to get into it. So hopefully, we'll never know.
Yeah, but cool. Out of 10, do we think it was a strong first issue, or not really?
I would say 8 for me. Strong enough for me to want to read issue 2.
I'd give it a strong 6.
Yeah, I was thinking 6.
See, I wouldn't even. I'd probably say a 5. I think because of the story. I think. Well, do you know what? I think because of the story, like if you're not into like westerns and stuff like, as Peter said, if you're not into westerns and stuff like that, you're not really going to want to pick this up. I think the majority of the people would have only picked this up because it's got Skottie Young's name on it, and it's got the same creative team as it has for I Hate Fairyland. So I think people, especially for me, I looked at it and was like, this is going to have the same vibes as I Hate Fairyland. It's going to be a bit comedy in it. It's going to be a bit of violence. This for me was like, it was, I wouldn't say it's quite hard hitting. It was quite an emotional story where she's literally just up and left her family.
I found myself sighing quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it comes back to what Andy said, and you got a great example on the page there of that first panel of her just walking down the sand. There was 3 or 4 pages that felt like that.
Yeah.
Like there's one, like a full shot of her body, which is sectioned. And I don't know why. I don't know what it was doing. And I kind of found myself reading it and just kind of going, and then turning the next page, because it was just, I don't know. It did, yeah. It didn't. It was an okay read, but it certainly wasn't something I'd rush to read on with.
Well, what Kevin said, I think the whole book could have been 2 pages, and they could have gotten to something interesting. I think, yeah, with this, especially with Skottie Young, you expect something to happen quick, and I don't think it did. I think he's dragging it out. I'm going to read on just to see where it goes, but yeah, solid 5 for me. Solid 5. There we go. Yes.
I was about to bust into them, like, you know, the band bars, like 5. sorry.
That was silly. Right, so I'm going to jump in before Tom does, because we're now going into short, sharp, and straight to the points. There we go. Killer Indie Picks for Made. 22nd. This are the comics, the indie comics that are coming out for next week, New Comic Book Day. Up first. And,
yes, it was me. Killtown issue number 1. This is from Scout Comics. Regina Kim is doing writing, and Alexandra Santana is doing the artwork. Picked this purely on the basis of the cover, to be honest with you. I like that style. I love the artwork. The synopsis reads that this particular book is already in development with Sony Entertainment. Full of horror-fueled action, Killtown is a spin-off series of the Night of the Cadillacs comics book series from ex-Posse Street Savvy Min wants to make her mark in the world. However, she feels held back in her role as a money runner with the 7 Stars Mob, the biggest crime syndicate in Koreatown, Los Angeles. When Min takes things into her own hands to usurp Vince, the notorious 7 Stars Mob boss, her plan backfires. Min is shot execution style and left for dead. Full of horror-fueled action.
I'm looking for, yeah.
Is that the right word? Usurp. Sounds very odd as a word. Usurp.
Yeah. Tongue-tied, mega, and synopsis.
I don't envy you. I mean, I think if I'd have read it, I'd have gone usurp.
Especially my accent. Just feels wrong.
This is interesting. From Promiscuous Time Traveler, Scout Comics is doing their best Aftershock Comics impression the last year or so. I think a lot of these indie comics are doing something that DC and Marvel and the others won't. So I think you're going to get a lot of, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Is this going to come out on time? I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to reading it, though. This cover alone has got me interested. And I do like Scout Comics. I think they do some good stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've never heard of the writer or artist before. I don't know if any of you guys have.
No.
But yeah.
Sounds interesting.
It does sound very, very cool. Interesting. It does. So that's from Scout Comics, Killtown issue number 1. Then he's gone and picked another one. Get in. Go on, Andy. You picked this one as well, mate.
Yeah, Sam and Twitch, Case Files issue number 3. This is a series that I've been reading from the start. Obviously, anybody that's familiar with the Spawn universe will remember the old Sam and Twitch comics. So this is artwork by Simone Kudransky, who we all love and know, and written by John Goff and Todd McFarlane. So this has been, for me, a really fantastic series, probably the highlight of the sort of Spawn universe at the minute. And in this particular issue, it sounds as if it's going to take a bit of a twist and turn. The synopsis reads that the investigation takes a turn that neither detective saw coming. Now they're a target of a vicious killer. So the setup and premise of this is the two of them have sort of fallen out, and they've sort of went their separate ways. And it looks as if at some point, at least, if they're going to have to come back together to actually investigate the killer that's trying to get the two of them. I'd highly recommend this if you've never read any Spawn. I know that in the past we've sort of been maybe a little bit let down by some of the new Spawn books, but this is definitely a winner for me, and the artwork is absolutely superb.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this, and that's all down to you, like saying it's a good read. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I think it's good, and I don't really know much about Spawn, so to be able to jump on this and read it is wicked. And I love this cover as well. The fact is that
It's a great cover.
the shirt looks like an alley that he's walking into. It's wicked.
Yeah,
the covers for this have been superb, and I think this is the beauty of this book is that you don't need to know anything about Spawn to actually enjoy it. It's very much standalone. So
yeah. No, very much so. Great pick, yeah. And the fact is that it's Simon Kudransky doing it, so we all love his art. So it's just has he done all of the issues, Andy?
Yeah, he's done all the issues.
Oh yes, that's interesting. Void Rivals, there we go. That's what I was talking about, Tom.
Yeah, so I've gone for Robert Kirkman's Void Rivals issue. What issue is that?
9.
Oh, issue 9. Sorry. So basically, Derek and Solis are in the wastelands, and they come across everyone's triple changing favorite Transformer, Springer. So it's his first appearance in the Energon universe. So I'm really quite excited about this. The actual variant cover for this is stunning as well. They've done a grand job. I'm really excited to see him come into the universe and see where it goes. But yeah, that's why.
Is that the one where he's lifting the Earth?
Yes.
Oh
no, that's Prime. That one. No, the Springer one is him kind of from below. They're looking up at him. If that makes sense. The two carriers are below him, and he's stood up over the top of them.
Right.
Void Rivals was the first one that came out for the Energon universe. Starscream.
It was Jetfire, but yes.
Jetfire, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, wow, this is going to be big. Now that they're coming back into it, it's tying in beautifully. I think it's all tying in, like it's going to be great. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, mate.
Pete, are you still reading Void Rivals?
I am. Yeah, I am. It cooled down a little bit for us, but I am still enjoying it. And now that they're bringing more Transformers back into it, so in the free comic book day we were talking earlier, Hot Rod makes an appearance. He's always been one of my favourites. So yeah, I am enjoying this book.
And one for the toys lovers among us, the new Springer toy they announced the other day.
It does.
Fantastic.
It does, to be fair.
It does look awesome. It does look awesome.
Have you guys seen the Megatron that goes alongside the Optimus Prime that transforms?
Yeah,
they've done the Optimus Prime and the
Grimlock. Yeah,
they've just done amazing. G2 Megatron, which looks incredible. But not G2 Megatron.
It's the tank version, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, wicked. Cobra Commander staying on the Energon universe. This for me, right? So the first issue wasn't great. I think we can all agree it was like probably one of the weakest ones. But this is the final issue. There we go. It's the rise of the Cobra Commander. To build an army, Cobra Commander makes a deal with a powerful ally that can't be trusted. Now that it's started, can the Cobra threat ever be stopped? I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this.
It's a great series.
It is
a good series.
After I read the first one, I was like, this is the weakest one out of all of them. But it's got stronger and stronger every time it's gone on. Issue number 3 was wicked. And the fact that this is coming to an end is going to be interesting. But are we all still reading this one? I think we are, aren't we?
I am, yeah. Have you read Duke? You've been reading Duke?
Yes.
Yeah. They've all been really good, actually. They've all kind of, like you said, I think this one was the weakest one. And I think Void Rivals kind of went off a little bit in the middle. And Duke did the same. But they are all really good as a group of kind of a universe to read. I think they've all kind of strong in their own way, I think.
What I would love is an Energon universe book to come out, like a compendium where they're all together. So instead of reading the individual stories, they're all kind of amalgamated into one, and you're kind of reading. That'd be pretty cool. Like, so first of all, you read the Void Riders and you turn the page. It's a Transformers book, and they're all interesting. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be interesting. I'd read that.
It'd be cool to do them in the timeline.
Yeah, it would. That'd be wicked.
Yeah.
Go on, Pete.
Okie dokie. So this is from Dark Horse. This is Butcher's Boy #1. This just sounds really interesting, right up my street. I'll not read the full synopsis, but basically this little town 100 years ago was plagued by a psychopathic butcher with a meat cleaver who went around chopping up the townfolk. And it's become kind of myth and legend over the last 100 years. Basically, this picks up 100 years later with some travellers who arrive in the town, and it's a question as to whether the butcher's back or if it's just a nutcase in the town who's kind of reliving the old stories. Sounds like a slasher kind of horror kind of thing for me. The cover jumped out at us. I just thought the cover looked really, really interesting. Obviously, they take the butcher's boy. I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of blood relative of the original butcher from 100 years ago or something like that. So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting one. Looking forward to getting into it.
This, for me, when I first see it, I thought this was a tie into Something's Killing the Children. The way that the cover was done, I didn't know if the butchers was one of the families. But then when I read into it, I was like, this is interesting. Like this looks interesting. It's Dark Horse Comics. They do some good stuff now and again. But yeah, I think it's very much looks like a Something Is Killing the Children kind of rip off, if it were. But yeah, I'll give it a read. Is this something up your street, Andy?
I did see this when I was having a look through the books. I don't know why I never picked up on it, to be honest with you, because hearing Peter's synopsis of it definitely sounds intriguing. Again, like all issue ones, I'll probably give it a go and read the first issue, see what it's like, stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's the Butcher's Boy issue #1. Then we've got Rook Exodus. We've been massively talking about this. It's the Ghost Machine is absolutely killing it at the moment in my eyes, and Jeff Johns doing a very good job. In the far future, the man known only as Rook wants out, and he reckons anywhere is better than the crumbling planet Exodus, where all of nature, especially its imported animal population, has grown out of control as the world's engine has utterly failed. Scavenging for escape vessel, he's interrupted by the power-hungry bear master named Usor, who won't stop until he rules of what remains of Exodus. Also, who is the mysterious direwolf, and is she Rook's ally or enemy? I'm loving this. I love the artwork of it. I love the story of it. I think it's great. I'm just gutted I never really got into Ghost Machine before now, because like Geiger's really good, Redcoat's good, Rook Exodus. It seems like this is, if you're going to do like a little universe, I think this is one of the ways to do it.
Yeah. It is really good comic, to be fair, and then Jason Fabok's artwork is incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There we go. Deviator said, "Rook, take my money." Deviator's a massive Ghost Machine fan, so he'll only sing plaudits from that. So yes, Rook Exodus issue #2. He's back, just for you, Pete. Baba. Issue #4. It's winding down. Join us for our final romp in the swamp in this 4-part series as Gil suffers his final confrontation with the mutant creature Baba. Now, I sent you issue #1 probably about 2 or 3 months ago. Did anyone read it? Did anyone get the chance to read it or not? Great comic. I wouldn't bother. Blood Moon Comics. There we go. Look, DVH loves it. Lol Baba. Absolutely. It's wicked. It's absolutely batshit crazy. Is it going to win any awards? Absolutely not. Is it worth reading? Absolutely not. Ricky Sykes has done a good job. Well done for starting a comic. There we go. Blood Moon Comics. Take my money-ish. Maybe I might want a refund, but hey-ho. There we go. So we are on Killer Trades and hardcovers for May 22nd as well. Up first.
I couldn't not pick this.
Nice.
Another edition of Batman's The Black Mirror. This is the deluxe edition written by Scott Snyder, artwork by Jock. And this, the reason this has intrigued me is because it has a Jock cover as well. And I think this, if I remember correctly, this is like a slipcase edition. So you take this cover off, and it has the Detective 880 cover on it in the inside.
Wow.
Again, it's one of the classic Batman stories,
Mhm.
and it ticks all the boxes for me with regards to writer artwork. And I do like a little bit of Batman in my life. So yeah, this is a winner chicken dinner for me.
Is the
One chicken dinner.
it looks like there's a lighting thing on the bottom left hand side of his cape. Is that on the original one as well? You know, like when the light shined on it, it's shined off. Is that?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I don't think this has been modified or sort of
Right,
changed in any way. I think this is the original. I need to think of that issue though.
It's nice though. Yeah, I remember I think I took my one of these, not the deluxe edition, but I took it when Scott Snyder was at Thought Bubble, so I managed to get him to sign it, and I got Jock to sign it as well. So that's pretty impressive. But yeah, this is great. Like this seems like it's been around for like years and years and years, and it never gets old.
Yeah. If you haven't read this, then I'd definitely recommend you do.
Yeah.
I don't think I've read it. I don't think I've read Black Mirror. I'll have to go
Oh, it's
back and have a
wicked.
look.
Oh, it's wicked.
It's a great story, mate. You'd love it.
Great story. And there we go. Something's in the chin. This is out this week, Pete, by the way.
Is it? Is it come out this week? So I don't read Something That's Killing the Children regularly or in trade paperback. The only time I read it was when the first edition of this came out. And I read the collected edition and absolutely loved it, but decided that I wanted to read it in complete lumps rather than monthly.
Yeah.
So I've been patiently waiting for this to come out. So this is the Something That's Killing the Children Deluxe Edition Book 2 hardcover. I will be getting the slipcase version, and this contains issues 21 to 35, 400 pages for $70. So continuing the story of Ergh Slaughter, I believe. I don't know anything about it because I've tried desperately to keep away from the kind of the monthly shenanigans. So I go into this blind a little bit. I'll read this in one sitting. I'll buy this and sit and have a nice cup of coffee and read the lot.
But you know what? You're not going to be too far behind on it, because if this is from 21 to 35, they're only currently on 39 now. I've been reading it. Like, this is one of the ones I've picked up and read. And I think it's great. I think for a long running comic, for what they're doing to keep it interesting. Obviously, they had the tie-ins of like the House of Slaughter and stuff like that, and they've tied it in. I think it's done well. But this, I always revert back to reading this, and I think this is one of the standalone comics that Boom Studios absolutely smashed out the park. And to keep it going for like 40 issues, that's an achievement with any publisher, and especially for Boom Studios to carry on that and keep people interested and still bring out like deluxe editions and slip editions and everything like that. I think it's great.
Slip editions.
Yeah. Slip a digit. There we go. So yes,
I dropped off this in issue number 16, and
really,
yeah, I don't read it anymore. I just get really bored of it, and I get bored of all the sort of side quests that they produced, all the other books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, if I was going to read it, this would be the form that I would read it on. But is it worth past issue number 16? Because I've not like heard much buzz about between issue 16 and whatever we're on at the minute.
I'd say I don't know about Charlie, but I'd say yes, but try not to get tied down or bogged down by all the side quests, like you said, and I wouldn't read it monthly. I'd wait for it to get to like 5 or 6 issues and then read it.
Yeah.
The problem with reading it monthly is, like you said, you get distracted by the side issues. So you're like, oh, I've read Something's Killing Children, so I'll read the book of Butcher, or I'll read the book of Slaughter, and then you're like, that doesn't make sense to what I've just read. Now I've forgotten what's going on in Something's Killing Children. But it is ramping up, I would say, to something special.
Do I need to have read all those side quests to understand what happens after issue 16?
No,
not really. No,
I would say from issue 16, I think if that's the cover where Ergh Slaughter, I think she's at the crossroads and she's crossing the road, whether she gets on the train or the bus and she goes back. From issue 16 to probably 24, it really slows down, and it does get a bit tedious. It does get a bit boring. You're like, oh my God, am I going to stick with this? But because I was so invested in it up to 24 issues, I was like, yeah, I'm going to continue. But I wouldn't have to say, no, I've read none of the tie-ins at all. This is the standalone story for me. I can't be bothered with it. It doesn't really work. But yeah, I think
I'll pick up this, and I'll pick up the slipcase of the first 15 or 16.
Yeah, because that was going for like pretty big pretty big money. I think it's like 60 or 70 quid, and then it slowed down.
They said I think he came out to say that it was meant to be limited edition, and then it was limited edition. They just brought out a second printing of it, which had slipcases as far as I'm aware.
That's so you really interesting. Well, I think it's interesting because I'm sad. You were talking there, Andy, about dropping off after issue 16, and that's because that's the end of the first arc. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I've just done a quick Google, right? Slipcase edition volume 1, which is what I've got, is issues 1 to 15, so the first arc. This picks up issue 22 onwards. So they're missing all those issues in between. If the synopsis is right on this.
That's
How
interesting.
does that work then?
Yeah, that's well interesting.
So this one picks up from where? 20 what?
22, I think it says.
So it picks up
So
from,
from
7
16
issues.
to 21, you're missing.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless there's an error in the synopsis or something, but
I think
yeah.
So I think
yeah,
what
that makes
happens
sense.
between issue 16 and 21?
So the first edition collects Something Is Killing the Children issues 1 to 15 in a single slipcase edition.
That's random. Yeah, that's random. Like, what are you doing for them extra 7 issues? That's random.
Yeah, it says on Amazon issues 21 to 35 it collects.
Yeah.
That's
Strange.
interesting. If anyone in the chat knows, just let us know, because that's interesting. Because because you're not going to jump straight from number 1 to this, are you? Because you'll be like, well, hold on, I've totally missed something. But it would be interesting to see if you can go straight from the first arc into the technically second arc to see what happens. I've gone for Blood Commandment.
Nice.
Something
This
killing
was-
the pages.
Somebody's killing the pages, somebody's eating it.
Right.
Blood Commandment was
Nice.
again. Simon Kudranski wrote it. He done the cover art. He done the art in it. He's done the colours in it and everything. He's absolutely smashed this. If you haven't read this, I would definitely get on it. Is it a horror comic? I would say so. Pete, what would you say?
Yeah. I think it's a good horror. I think it's yes, it's a horror in as much as it's about vampires.
Yeah,
But for me, the story's not really about the vampires. It's about the relationship between the father and the son and that emotional content.
yeah. Tom, did you get a chance to read this?
So I've read issue 1 and 2, and then I've got the rest ready, loaded to read, because I really want to read it. You guys have really talked very highly about it on the show. I know you guys said to me, like, I should go and read something epic, because I think I read issue 1 and it hit a little bit too hard home for me. So I didn't pick up the next ones. However, I have now got to, I think I'm on issue 7 or 5 or 7 of something epic, and it is amazing. I'm really glad that you guys persuaded me to continue on with it. So I will be reading Blood Commandment. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. And I think I think this year and next year is going to be massive for Simon Kudranski. I can just see things getting bigger and better for this.
Sorry to go back, but it's bothering us, so I've done a bit of Google.
I've just done a quick Google as well, mate.
Apparently, James Tinian has said that the second deluxe hardcover will collect the full Tribunal saga, collected in volumes 5 to 7 of the trade paperbacks. The contents of volume 4 will be collected in future flashback arcs.
Yeah, so I've just had the quick Google. So basically, issue 16 to 21 is Erica Slaughter's backstory.
Right.
So then from issue 22 onwards is when they introduced, Charlie will know the character, this new person that's in it with the red mask.
Yeah.
Who wears it that way rather than that way.
Yeah.
So she gets introduced. But yeah, the backstory is 16 to 21.
And then so from 15 to 22 it basically just continues. So from 15 to 22, where she gets on the bus at the end of Arc 1, Arc 2 picks up at 22. That's random. That's so
Odd.
confusing.
He did the same with, because I got confused when what's the other book he does, which was cack. It was a bit X-Files, but it was Department of Truth. Too complicated for me. That's too complicated. But I got the first 3 trade paperbacks and then realised halfway through that there was about 3 issues missing from one of the trade paperbacks, which apparently were like a guest artist or something. So they just cut them from the trade paperback. You just didn't get them.
Connor's just got all excited. Tom's back. There we go. With the beard and everything. There we go. Aviator said it's probably closer to an action book than a horror, but it is super cool, if a little bit wordy. Yeah, I think it is. But also, you could say that about something as epic, because there's some seriously text-driven pages there, where it's just literally all wordy driven. So I think that's what it does, though. So yes, so that is Blood Commandment. Then we've got the Ribbon Queen, Volume 1. Pete, I know you've been reading this. Andy, have you been reading this as well? Was it Ribbon Queen you was reading? It wasn't, was it? The Ribbon Queen. The synopsis for this is just insane. It's basically about 5 pages long, but it just says a troubled NYPD detective stumbles into a supernatural mystery involving an immortal spirit of vengeance while battling dirty cops protecting their lever in this horror thriller from Garth Ennis. I've loved every single issue of this. I think the covers have been great. Jason Burrows has done a fantastic job. We mentioned him on a comic last week that I think Andy, you picked up that he'd done the artwork for it, and I can't remember what comic it was that we mentioned it last week. But this has been fucking awesome. AW have this has been one of their best ones.
I absolutely love the series. I read the last issue just earlier this week, actually, and it ties it up really well. It's a very, very good series. Very good.
Connie, sorry I'm late. I'm going to Sweden tomorrow and I've lost my passport, so I've been in a tizzy. Well, hopefully you make your flight and hopefully you find your passport and get there. DVH has said, still not read Ribbon Queen. Really need to get this in the trade. Yeah, definitely. I think it's only like $16.99, so why not pick it up? And then Tom.
Yeah, so I've gone for Spawn Origin Collection Deluxe Edition Volume 7. This is the hardcover version, and this is the oversized kind of Spawn comic with a slipcase. And apparently this one, it doesn't say what it covers or what it's kind of collecting within the book itself, but it does say that in here you've got never been seen before artwork, black and white remarks of the original covers, and then some that they didn't use, and then there's quite a few things in here that you've never seen before unless you buy this particular book, which I think is really cool. I like it when they do things like that to kind of incentivize you to build, like go out and get the hardcover or the slipcase by putting like some extra bits in there that you wouldn't normally get. I love that.
Same. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, you two are massive Spawn fans. Is this something you're going to be picking up? Have you got the other 6?
So I do the compendiums, which are slightly bigger, and collect more books, and there's only 3 of those at the moment. So I don't know what this covers in objects for that, but yes, I probably won't get this one, but I do collect Spawn. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't have any of the compendiums or hardcovers, and I sold my Spawn collection. So
No.
Yep.
It's a sad day. Sad
Very.
day. I thought all Spawn
Not for my wallet.
No, of course.
No, true.
I thought all Spawn was written by Todd McFarlane.
It is to a certain point. He kind of went off. I think he stopped because he did the artwork up to a certain point while then Greg Capullo took over. Then he stopped writing, went away, and then I think he comes back issue 250. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andy. 250-ish. He comes back.
He's like the Stan Lee editor of Spawn, so
Yes.
he oversees everything and decides ultimately what's put in the pages, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't write it now, even though his name's on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's interesting. Cool. So that is the trade paperbacks and hardcovers. Now we've got the final order cut off top 3. So James is getting married this weekend, so he's brought it forward. So it'll be 9 p.m. on Saturday instead of Sunday for you to get your orders in.
I think it's Friday.
It's Friday. It's
yeah,
Friday.
so it's Friday, and I think he'll be putting in the last orders on Saturday morning
On
before he
Saturday.
then goes off and gets married on Sunday.
Exactly.
God,
And
that's
then-
dedication, that.
Yeah.
I think he's doing it before he gets married, and then he can't ever do it ever again. So I think he's just trying to give back to community until his life is over. Up first, I've gone for, there we go, Pete, I've gone for DC Pride Uncovered DC Comics. This is cover D by Jen Bartel. This, for me, is amazing, and I want it, and I'm going to get it, and I've already pre-ordered it. So yes, it's Harley Quinn, it's Poison Ivy. I feel like this was already done by Carla Cohen. I feel like Carla Cohen has already done this cover before, so this is a rehash.
Yeah.
I did like that, and I like this, so I'm going to be picking this up. You can scan the QR code, and you can head over to Slab Crusaders and pick this up. DC Pride Uncovered, issue number 1, DC Comics, cover D, Jen Bartel, Bosch.
Nice.
Wash.
Up next, there's this one. This looks wicked, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, so I've gone
That's
for
the cover I was
Transformers
talking about.
issue 9, and I've gone for the Darren Warren Johnson issue 9 cover A. It's just a basic cover, but I absolutely love it. Optimus Prime with the world on his back, because that's basically how he is as a character. He literally holds the whole world and the Transform universe on his back. So yeah, I just thought it was an awesome cover, and I was like, I'm already going to get it anyway, so I might as well put it out here for everyone else to enjoy.
Yeah, I think.
Love it.
It's kind of like Skottie Young-esque, though. Do you not think?
Yeah,
it is very, very much like that. Yeah, Transformers 9. Loving Transformers at the moment. Oh,
nice.
Sexy. So I love this cover. I love, I get his name wrong because I can't say names. Francesco Martina. Yeah. I love his art style. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. But this has got us really interested in terms of it being a relaunch kind of the Elseworlds tales from DC, and it's a sequel to Gotham by Gaslight, which is a great little series, Elseworld tale. I think this will be cracking. I'm really looking forward to this, and even if the story's cack, it's got some phenomenal artwork on the covers. So yeah, definitely getting this.
Yeah, no, this is nice.
See the little silhouette of the cat on his leg? That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
It's just so cool, like this. Yeah. Is that a cat? Oh, yeah, it is a cat. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is
really looking very closely at the inside of his leg.
Batman's groin. Yeah.
Francesco Martina does some awesome covers. I went through a phase where I still collect all the Batman comics, and I'm still kind of like going through the phase of cover A and then the cover B by Francesco Martina. So he does some good stuff. He does some really, really good stuff.
He got some stick, didn't he, a few years ago about kind of rehashing other people's artwork. But at the end of the day, I think he's incredible. His artwork is stunning, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. And then Andy.
This was the only book that I ordered on FOC this weekend. Street Fighter Masters Game Gals #1, and the only reason was because it was a blank cover, and I thought it'd be cool to get sketches on. Does that say more about me, or does it say more about the comic industry?
When you picked this, I thought, when you first picked this, I thought, there must be the artist that's going to be at Thought Bubble or something. But I kind of see your logic, like to get sketches on and stuff like that. I could see someone doing an awesome blanker sketch for you, and it would just look wicked.
Yeah, it was that old school Street Fighter logo. I just thought, that.
Nice.
Oh, definitely. Nice, bosh.
Nice.
So we are now at the Killer Comic Show sneak peek for next week. These are the 4 comics that will be up for the vote next week. And they're actually going live at 10:30 tonight. So up first, Andy.
Yeah, I went for Displaced issue #4. I've been really enjoying the first couple of issues of this book. I haven't read issue #3, so if this gets voted for, it'll give me an excuse to catch up. And hopefully you boys will jump into this as well and enjoy it.
Yes. Tom?
Yeah, so I thought I'd go for Doom, because I quite like Doctor Doom as a character. I absolutely loved doing Secret Wars when he became God Doom, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with him. So I thought I'd pick it. And I actually have already read it, and it's pretty good. So I'm looking forward to discussing it with you guys next week if it gets picked.
Peter?
So I'm a big fan of the Ice Cream Man book. This is well into the issues. I'm not even sure what issue this is, but the joy of Ice Cream Man is each tale, bit like Swan Songs. It's each issue is a standalone issue, so you haven't got to know. And I feel like I haven't read Ice Cream Man for a long time. So when I spotted this, I thought, I'll dip my toes back in the world of Ice Cream Man. Like I say, you haven't got to know what's gone on before it. It'll be a standalone issue.
Peter, question for you. Yeah.
Is this a return of Ice Cream Man? So that's what I'm thinking, Chris, because I can't remember. I mean, I read Ice Cream Man normally in trade paperbacks. I collect them in that version. But I can't remember reading an Ice Cream Man for probably 6 months or so. So I don't know if it's disappeared or if I've just missed it. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't read one issue of Ice Cream Man. I haven't read one issue.
You've never lived.
I know. I'm going to start picking up the trade paperbacks because I think, that's definitely going to be.
I think you'd like it, Charlie. It's I can't remember the name of the writer, but he's a master at doing Maxwell Prince, yeah. Master at doing strange little unexpected tales mixed with horror and all kinds of stuff.
He did Ha Ha, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
we read all the Ha Ha ones,
yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah, they were good. And then I've gone for Uncanny Valley. I'm loving this. This is kind of like Looney Tunes meets everything else is 90s childhood rolled into one. Again, they've jumped on the retro reminiscent vibe. So yeah, why not? Why not put it in and give it a good read? So here we are. We are at the Killer Cover scoreboard. So there has been 46 votes.
46 votes. There's only 9 people in the chat.
How does this happen? This happened last week as well.
I don't know. But in last place is Peter with 13%.
Shocking.
In
Shocking.
third place, it's me with 15%. In second place, it is Tom with 35%. And in first place, it is Andy with 37% of the votes.
Dry your eyes,
Prodigal
Peter.
son.
Dry your eyes.
There's some bullshit going on here, like.
I'll tell you what is cool, that each one of us have won at least once with the Transformer cover. I love that.
Yes.
That's actually made me really happy.
Yes. Andy's won twice with a Wonder Woman cover. Peter's won twice. Yeah.
Peter, we're doing something wrong because obviously, boobs sell.
Boobs.
I mean,
boobs.
look at Andy.
Boobs and bots, Tom. That's my
Boobs
takeaway
and
from
bots.
this. Boobs and
Yeah,
bots.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing the wrong thing, mate.
There we go. Look, Andy has photoshopped that result. There we go.
Just like his cover.
Just like his cover. But that's not the end of the show. We've got the housekeeping. Tom, I need to put your logo back up here because I don't know what one you're using. So if you can let me know, I'll put that back on. But as always, Instagram /Geeky Guy Comics. You can check me out there. You can also check me out on Twitter. Mr. YouTube royalty himself.
Hello. So yeah, over on Instagram and YouTube and X, whatever it is, and all those kiddie ones. What's the other one I do?
TikTok.
I don't do it very TikTok, yeah. But just a little promote, please. Tomorrow night over on One Good Scare Show, we've got our live show at 9 o'clock, talking all things horror and spooky shit. So please go check that out.
There we go. And then Mr. Perpetual.
Yep. Perpetual.comics on Instagram, Perpetual Comics on X.
And then Tom, where can we find you, mate?
Well, if you want to find me on my PT channel, you can find me on Instagram doing Tom Made in PT, or if you want to follow the comic book side of what I do, you can follow me on Not Quite Mint, which is also on Instagram. Nothing going out on the moment on my either Instagram because I'm taking a little bit of a couple of days off, but I will be doing some stuff shortly. I want to shift some of my comics, so we'll be selling some bits on there if anyone is interested.
And talking about selling comics, we're going to now share the screen before we do our pickups. Where are we going? Right here, we go to share screen. We go to StreamYard giveaway tool. And the hashtag was #WangBangers. There was 3 entries. And the winner is... Chris Bell.
Chris Bell.
Ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong. Chris Bell, you have won. If you drop me a message either on the Geeky Guy Comics Instagram or the Killer Comic Show Instagram, we'll sort you out some comics for you to read in your... Yeah, we'll sort you out to read something. So, anyway, pickups. Who's got some stuff? Tom, you've been away for God knows how long. Have you got any pickups?
I do, mate. Not 6 months worth of pickups, just a few things I've got recently, actually. So I recently got my Slabbed Comics pile that has been piling up for quite some time. So I'm not going to show you everything. I'll just show you some of the highlights. So I've got the Transformers issue 1 CGC,
Nice.
9.8, which I'm really chuffed with. So that was like quite a nice thing to put in the collection.
Did you send that off yourself, Tom?
No, that's directly from Slabbed, mate. So I ordered it from Slabbed as Slabbed. James was really kind because there was 2 of them. So he sent the second one off to be signed and remarked from DWJ for me.
Cool.
I went through him to do that as well, which is pretty cool. Not remarks, just signed.
Yeah.
I then also got some other Transformer goodness. I got the John Boy Mayer's issue 4.
Oh, nice.
Which I absolutely love.
Nice.
It's that iconic bit from the movie, from the 1980s movie where he jumps over the top of Soundwave and just kicks the crap out of him, which is kind of cool. I'm thinking about getting the interconnecting covers with that because there's one from Duke and Cobra Commander that would be quite nice to put all together. I got the Death of the Venomverse but the design variant of Jeff, where he becomes
Nice.
the
Nice.
giant Venom,
Yeah.
which I thought was quite a quirky little comic, and I like the fact that he looks a little bit like Raggles, so that's kind of why I got it. I then got some J. Scott Campbell goodness, so I got Eternals issue 1.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
is
That's
quite
nice.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's nice.
pretty cool. I got the skiing variant for Spider-Man issue 40.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I still have to pick that one up.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And then I got the Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1, which is actually apparently like Rockin' Horse shit at the moment.
Yeah,
to
it's
find.
hard to get that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So quite chuffed that I've got that.
Nice.
And then this morning I had Void Rivals
Ooh, blank.
issue 1 blank arrive, because I'm hoping to get a Transformer done on it at some point when we get to Thought Bubble, hopefully. And then finally we went back up to where I come from at the weekend for Charlotte's birthday, and I went into Worcester and I found a lovely little comic shop called Out of This World, where they have loads of old school comics, and I've shown the lads the video. I think if you have a look on YouTube, you'll find JP Comics and what are the lads called? MJ Comics did a video on it, and it's a really nice little comic shop if you've ever in the area to pick up some old school stuff. So I got the Summer Special Transformers UK magazine,
Oh, nice.
which is pretty cool. Really, really, really cool. And then I'm sorry about this, Andy, but I also got issue 113 of the Transformers UK comic.
You still
Which is
my
the-
beating heart.
which is the first appearance of Death Heads. The only problem is it's not going to really be worth anything because it's got writing at the top.
Ah,
But
here we go.
it's one for the collection. But that has now, unfortunately, I picked those up for an absolute bargain, a couple of quid each, and it's now started a new thing because I've never had these before. But I'd like them, if that makes sense. And I'd also like the old school proper Transformers comic.
So I thought about that the other day. I think you'd sent some images of them, Tom, and I thought, you know what? I would love to get the old UK Thundercat comics. But what I'd probably do is try and get the full lot and then send them away and get them custom bound. So you can have a nice hardback with all of the sequential issues in.
Yeah.
But you could do the
that's
same
a
with the
really cool
Transformers,
idea.
couldn't you?
Yeah, mate. Well, definitely. I mean, half the ones, that Death Head one isn't going to be worth anything even if I CGC'd it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good idea. Because I said to Charlotte, the nicest thing about picking up the old school magazines is you can probably pick most of them up for £1, £2, maybe even pence, actually.
Yeah.
But it'd be really nice to have them if we ever have children that I can pass them on and they can wreck them and they can look at them and like read what I read when I was a kid, which would be really cool, I think.
Yeah. Well, staying on the Transformers vibe, I was away for a day with work and I kind of stumbled upon this comic shop, 85th or 84th floor comics or something stupid. Had a look in there and I wasn't really planning on buying anything, but I ended up spending 20 quid and I got some absolute goodness, like honestly. So I got this one. This is like the
I love that one.
John Gallagher
Mate,
one.
nice.
Yeah.
This was £4.
Piss off.
Right.
I mean, that's good. Well done.
Yeah,
I
£4.
reckon that was like a £17, 25 quid book when it came out.
It's £4. It's got a few spine ticks down the side, and like one across, but that was that. And then I got this one. That was £7.
Nice.
This was £6, I think, £6 or £7. This is quite nice. I was kind of shot, and I kind of like when I was going through the box, I was like, I need to pick these up and take them, even if I don't want them, because I think someone will snap them up. So then I just picked up more Transformers. Some of this.
Oh, mate, the Dreamwave comics, Transformer comics, are really hard to come by. That's really cool. I think that's series 2.
Yeah,
that
was
very hard to come by, mate.
That one. Issue number 3.
Again, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There was that one.
Oh, amazing.
And then there was this one's battered. Like this one's got like some damage at the top corner. You probably can't see. That sellotape together. But again, there was that one. And then I'm not sure what run this is from, but I kind of liked the cover on it.
That is the IDW second run. Which is pretty cool.
Then this is like a thick one. Cover B, $7.99, 6 issues. That one.
Oh, nice. Unicron. That's a good mini series. That one. That's where it all starts to go a little bit to poo for IDW because they tried so hard to introduce Transformers with G.I. Joe, with Mask, with Visionaries. It all got a bit really complicated.
And then I knew this one can go for a bit of money, and I ended up picking it up for £6.
Very nice.
I literally have no idea about it. I kind of looked at it, picked it up, went on eBay, see it was selling for a few, and then just thought, yeah, I'll pick it up and
Never seen that one before.
All in all, I think I spent like £21, £22 on comics I didn't need. But now I'm massively into like Transformers. Tom, I tell you, I've spent the week like watching the Transformers films. I watched Transformers '89, which is absolutely iconic, amazing.
Yes.
Loved it, and then I'm now on the Bayverse, so I'm watching all of that to see where we
It goes
get.
downhill. It goes
Yeah,
downhill.
it really does.
The Bumblebee movie's probably
Bumblebee's
the best
good. Bumblebee's good.
Bumblebee's good. But yeah, that was my pickup. So I'm pretty happy with him. I'm pretty happy.
Very
with
cool.
him.
Very cool.
one. Very nice, mate.
Yeah.
I've got a few bits and bobs. I'm not sure if I've shown you this one before. Captain Britain, issue number 1.
I'm not sure.
Signed
I've got
by
a second one if you want it, Pete.
Signed by Stan the Man. I've got 3 copies of this, Tom.
Right.
But this one's got Stan the Man's signature on it. So yeah, very nice. Very
Pipe
nice.
down, Tom.
Dude,
I've got 3 copies.
Do apologise. I picked this up as well. I've been playing a game called Helldivers. Don't know if you guys have heard the Helldivers thing.
No.
So I've picked this up because it's very similar to the kind of character design. So I'm going to paint that up into the character I play online. Geek. I've picked up these. I don't know where I've gotten these. I think Whatnot. I think it must be a mystery box. So I got that.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Quite nice. Bit of Joker cover.
Yeah.
Weapon X.
That's wicked. Yeah, nice.
Bit of Thor.
Nice.
Boobies.
No, Nathan Shirty there.
I think that's a Spider-Man book. It's a foil. Boobies, more boobies. And then I got something through the post, and it was addressed to His YouTube Royal Highness. And the box smelt. It hasn't got a name on it. It hasn't got a return or anything like that. But as soon as I
address it's come from,
it's got an address, yeah. As soon as I touched it, I got aroused and erect. So I'm assuming it's like a very sexy kind of individual who sent it.
Wasn't me.
No, like I say, it was sexy. So honestly, I cannot thank you enough for this, Tom. I'm presuming it's Tom. It must be Tom.
it was me. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had this as a kid, and as soon as I opened it, I just grinned from ear to ear. And this is the Transformers pop-up book. Ultra Magnus on the front there. It's just friggin' amazing. And I've gone through it and I've played with all the pop-up things. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So over the moon with this, Tom. This touched us greatly. So thank you so much for that. I love it.
Mate.
Absolutely.
It was one of those things where I got those books and that was in there, and I thought I can't leave that. And then I thought I've got no room for it. It's not really my cup of tea. But I was like, I know a man that would really, really enjoy this as a thing. I was like, and he's obviously really nostalgic. I thought, yeah, I've got to get it. I can't just leave it here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Tear to my eye when I opened it because I loved it.
Oh.
I loved it.
And then saving the best to last. Andy, what have you got for
Andy, what you got?
We've
got another hour, haven't we?
I'll start with some trading cards, if that's okay.
This is your new rabbit hole, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. So, Redstars Comics had said to me, look, you must get a card graded, because I've not got any graded trading cards. I just don't know what to get. So
he's like sorry to interrupt, but he's like a bloody cocaine pusher, him, because he did exactly the friggin' same with me, didn't he, last week?
Yeah,
he told us I had to buy one.
Monster, absolute monster, serious. So I've sort of narrowed it down to trying to find old school trading cards from popular comic artists, famous comic artists. So I started with Jorge, and I got all of his back catalogue of trading cards, and then I moved on. It'd be remiss of me not to stay Jenny Frison whilst Tom is with us tonight. So
that's the only reason I came back.
Exactly. So I picked up a Vampirella card, and this is Jenny Frison's early artwork from that.
Nice.
So this goes back
Can you do it in that way you do?
This is Jenny Frison. Jenny Frison. I think this is based on her cover from aptly named The Second Coming, issue number 4.
Oh,
according to the
I think that was me just now when you said
this is whose artwork is that, ladies and gents?
I would say Jenny Prison just for a laugh.
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, Bill Sienkiewicz, yeah.
Oh, right.
And then we have any ideas who this is?
Bruce thingy. What do you call him? Thingy Tim? It's not Bruce Tim.
Tim.
Bruce,
Yeah.
Bruce, not Bruce Tim, is it?
Yep, it's Bruce Tim.
Is it?
Nice.
Who's that, Tom?
That's J. Scott
No,
Campbell.
J. Scott.
Mr. J.
That's
Scott,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
And another J. Scott Campbell.
Nice.
And then we had Adam Hughes.
Are you sure?
Exactly. As it misses. No. And then we have some more J. Scott Campbell.
J. Scott Campbell.
They're wicked. They're cool.
And then back to some comics. So some more Jenny Prism. This is Red Sonja issue number 1, but this is the Hen's Teeth issue. This is a third print, which is very, very hard to get hold of. This literally was up on eBay for about 2 minutes before I snapped it up. And this goes for about $100.
Oh, wow.
In high grade. So I was really happy to get that in the collection. Another Jenny Prison, Red Sonja issue number 6. So I've almost completed the volume 2 of her covers. So I got this from Silver Acre Comics on eBay. Who normally aren't the greatest in the world when it comes to it, but they actually sent the wrong book. But the guy was amazing in fixing the issue. Sent me a returns label. I sent the wrong one back, and it's in great grade, so can't fault it. I showed this one on my Instagram from LA J. Scott Campbell. This is back in 2013, I think he done
That's
that.
nice, that is. Yeah.
Hero Comics 2014. So I got this from the Coffee and Heroes store, my LCS. I got it on their website. So we were checking out their website. I think it's coffeeandheroes.com or .co.uk. Good bunch of lads. And last but not least, I actually get this in today. This is from Redstars Comics. I bought this on his Whatnot. A little bit of this.
Nice.
Is
So
that
this
series
is
still going?
Yeah, World Tree's still going, yeah.
It took a break, but it's back now. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the spot foil edition, and this really he's actually included this in a Mylan and stuff. So this really needs to be seen to actually take it all in. But this is a fantastic cover. So thanks to Redstars for allowing me to pick that up.
Nice.
That's me, guys.
Very cool.
Good
Very
pickups,
cool.
Evan. Some good pickups. Guys, it's been a wicked show. Tom, welcome back. Thanks for all the surprise edits and intros and stuff like that. It's been thoroughly enjoyable. Pete, you're busy this weekend, aren't you? Saturday Night Live is back.
No, not going to do Saturday Night Live this week. I'm giving that one a bit of a rest for a bit, but live tomorrow night with One Good Scare Show. And then back on Monday night for an X-Men special. I haven't watched the last episode of the X-Men 97 cartoon.
It's also, I've been enjoying that. I've been massively enjoying that. But thanks to everyone, single one in the chat. Chris, if you drop us a message, we'll get some comments out to you in the post. Hopefully it brightens up over this weekend. Everyone can enjoy their sun, have a couple of beers, read some comics, have some, just chill out. And we shall see you same time, same place next week, 9 o'clock on the Killer Comic Show. Have a good one, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
Good luck, James, Mrs. Breen. Good luck.